All right, let's take a little journey together. We're going to go back 5,000 years and watch how one single, simple task gets completely transformed by human ingenuity. We'll start with just plain old muscle and end up with artificial intelligence. And what we find along the way might just change how you think about progress itself.
It's a classic, right? How do you move a mountain? It sounds totally impossible. It's a metaphor for doing something huge, something monumental. It really gets you thinking big.
But, okay, let's bring that idea way down to earth. Forget the whole mountain for a second. Let's just focus on one piece of it. Imagine this. You have to move one single, massive stone from a quarry to your home. It's only 2 miles, but the ground is rocky and totally uneven. That's our real-world problem.
So, let's wind the clock all the way back, 5,000 years ago. There are no machines, no engines, no help at all, really, except for what you and your friends can physically do. You've got this giant rock, and you got to get it from point A to point B. I mean, where do you even begin?
Well, the first answer is the most obvious one, isn't it? Pure brute force. You get a team of 4 people, they're sweating, they're straining, just to heave this thing onto some crude wooden carrier. Then they have to carry it, by hand, step by agonizing step. It's incredibly slow, super inefficient, and it all comes down to nothing more than raw human endurance.
For thousands of years, the goal was pretty simple. Just find a better source of power. Anything. Anything to make the job easier, faster, and a little more predictable than just relying on your own muscles. And that simple need, it sparked a whole wave of amazing early innovations.
And you can see that evolution so clearly right here. Around 3,000 years ago, we finally figured out how to harness animal strength, using oxen to just drag the stone. 1,000 years after that, boom, a little spark of genius, using wooden logs as rollers to cut way down on friction. And then, by 1,000 years ago, the wheeled carriage comes along, combining animal power with a smart mechanical design. Every single one of these steps was a huge, revolutionary leap.
But get this, after thousands of years of that slow, steady progress, the next giant leap happens in what feels like a blink of an eye. Just 100 years ago, the internal combustion engine shows up, and it changes absolutely everything.
And just like that, the whole scene is transformed. I mean, you still have people involved, sure, using ramps and pulleys to get the stone loaded up, but the actual hard work of the journey, that's now being done by a roaring motor truck. Power is mechanized, and the trip is suddenly way faster and far more consistent than it ever was before. So, the next big evolution wasn't really about getting more power. It was about something new entirely. It was about precision and repeatability, with less and less direct human effort needed. This is the dawn of automation.
And this chart just shows it perfectly. Look at how the required human effort just plummets. 50 years ago, you'd have a whole team working a manual crane. Then, just 25 years ago, a single person with a hydraulic crane could do the entire job with unbelievable precision. The machine wasn't just getting stronger, it was getting smarter.
Which brings us all the way to today. And now, the process is almost completely hands-off. You've got an operatorless crane using sensors to scan and lift the stone perfectly. Then, a driverless electric truck guided by GPS navigates the path flawlessly. No human hands even need to touch it during the transport.
And that, right there, is the heart of automation. It's all about machines following a pre-written script, a set of defined steps. They do the task perfectly, the exact same way, every single time. It's all about perfecting a process that we already know.
But this is where our story takes its most important, most interesting turn. Because there is a massive, fundamental difference between a machine that can perfectly follow instructions and one that can start to think for itself. This is the huge shift from automation to true artificial intelligence.
So here's the crucial point, right? AI isn't about following a fixed set of rules. It's about being trained. It's about being able to learn, to adapt when something unexpected happens, and to actually improve its own performance over time without a human having to reprogram it.
Let's just break this down side by side. Automation follows the script that a person wrote. It's rigid. It's designed for a world that never changes. AI, on the other hand, well, it learns to write its own script. It's flexible. It's trained to handle a world that's messy and unpredictable. And that, right there, is the game changer.
I mean, really think about it. Every single innovation we've talked about, from using oxen to wheels to engines to robotic cranes,
Every one of them was all about getting better and better at answering the exact same question. How do we move this stone?
AI lets us do something completely different. It allows us to stop and ask if we're even asking the right question to begin with.
So if AI can completely rewrite the rules of the game, what does that mean for the future of our simple task? What comes after we've already perfected moving the stone?
This is exactly the kind of question AI forces us to ask. Why go through all the trouble of digging a stone out of the ground and hauling it 2 miles if maybe you don't have to? See, AI challenges the very foundation of the problem itself.
The future could look completely radically different. I mean, imagine systems that use molecular assembly to literally create the stone right where you need it. Or maybe advanced 3D printers that can build with materials that are already on site. AI could make the entire idea of transporting a stone just obsolete.
So when you look at the whole 5,000-year journey, it becomes pretty clear. Automation was the foundation. It taught us how to make processes perfect. But AI is what comes next. It's the frontier where machines don't just follow our orders anymore. They evolve, they adapt, and they help us redefine what's even possible. It's not just about moving the stone. It's about reshaping the world.